I think I'm getting the hang of this. What do you think, guys? Our next guest is a writer, comedian, and legend in the making. Her show, Ziwe, will have you squirming, thinking deep and laughing out loud at the same time. Take a look.
Where do you stand on the Emancipation Proclamation?
I am for freedom. Is that the right answer?
You tell me, Drew.
But, wait, what was the question?
What's more diverse, the cast of Glee or the Supreme Court?
It's after I say something and then it gets really, really still. That's what worries me.
Is that because you're not used to listening? As an Italian-American, would you consider yourself a person of color?
No, definitely not. Although.
Although?
Please welcome Ziwe.
Thank you for having me, Curtis.
Hey, you look great. Is this our first time meeting?
You know, I think it is our first time meeting, but I have vivid images of like the club, so maybe I've seen you in passing.
I checked out your Instagram and I saw you met Meghan Markle.
Yes.
How was that?
It was a pleasure. She is so interesting and so fascinating. We had a Northwestern connection. We went to the same college. So it was really cool to be on her podcast and talk about stereotypes.
You're born and raised in Massachusetts?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Massachusetts.
How was that?
It was iconic. It was really, Massachusetts is such a strange place because it's so cold, but they constantly remind you about the Union and the Confederacy. So it's a lot of learning most of the time, I'd say. How was it growing up in Queens?
Oh, man, it was pretty rough in the beginning. But I know you're from Nigeria, right? Tell me a little
my
bit
parents
about
are
what
Nigerian.
What part?
Aren't you making a movie about Nigerians or a TV show? Yes, about Nigerian scammers.
Yeah.
Yes, my parents are Nigerian. I'm not a scammer. I'm an intellectual. But they're going to be very excited that I'm talking to the 50 Cent. When I was a kid, they actually banned me from listening to your music. I don't know, remember the Massacre, you remember like Get Rich or Die Trying? So I had a Walkman, I would just turn it up and I would crump in my room alone.
They wouldn't let you listen to it?
No, I was listening to VeggieTales instead. Yeah.
Your show knows no limits and you aren't afraid. This is obvious right here, you know. What makes you so gutsy?
That's a good question. I do identify as a member of the G unit, the gutsy unit. So I think what makes me so brave is being able to have a strong perspective and standing by it. That's kind of what I like about your Instagram. You're not afraid to say whatever's on your mind, and then, it's honestly brave for men to double down.
But when you say the wrong thing, you better not double down, or you was canceled so quick. You see what happened to Kanye?
I don't know if that was cancellation or self-cancellation,
Yeah, right.
But you would honestly be a fantastic guest on my show.
Okay.
Right? I like you because you barrel towards controversy head first.
I do. I just know when I'm in the wrong area. I can feel when things start getting dangerous. Do you have any questions for me?
I have 100 questions for you. My first question for you, did you have any idea that you'd go on to host the Drew Barrymore Show?
I had no idea that I would be hosting the Drew Barrymore Show. And I was like, yo, you know, this is my big break. You know, and I'm like... You know, and I'm just excited I'm just happy to be here.
I love that. My question is, how do you get, like, what number in the call sheet are you? Were you the first call?
Yeah, I actually I am Drew Barrymore at the present moment.
Oh.
So I'm number one on the show right now, technically. I'm filling in for the number one seat. That's why these people treat me so good.
And since you are Drew Barrymore, what is your best Drew Barrymore impression to camera, please?
My best Drew Barrymore impression? No, nobody prepped me to perform. I didn't have to come through that part. Like, they didn't tell me I had to perform as Drew Barrymore. You put pressure on me. She has a Golden Globe. I would never dare do that.
I think you just say, I love rain. Just say...
I love rain.
And I just love to imagine you sort of like watching Drew Barrymore movies. What's your favorite one?
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels?
Yeah.
Can you do the pose? Do the pose.
I'm in the middle, so they're doing that around me. You know, but before I let you go, I'm putting you in the hot seat.
Okay.
Right? So I'm gonna ask you the final 5.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you 5 rapid questions.
Yeah.
Question 1. What's your favorite candy? And have you ever been to the candy shop?
This is a daytime show. And that's my answer.
I can't believe I said that. Oh, look, one of your comedic influences is the show Arrested Development. Have you ever been arrested?
I've never been arrested.
You said that you want people to know that you're fallible and that you're only human.
Yes.
You believe in aliens?
I feel like I've been abducted by aliens right now.
Yeah?
They're just bright lights. I'm talking to 50 Cent. I'm not sure this is reality.
Let's just start it up. Which one of us do you think is better at hosting the show?
I think that we're separate but equal. Let's explain.
You said you would discipline the school for asking too many questions.
Yes.
How would you discipline me? No,
Do you guys feel this is
No, I was just asking you a regular question. It's a regular question. I'm just asking now you would, don't get carried away now. I just asked you a simple question. Like, you ask people all kind of crazy questions and they have to answer it because it's your show. And now you're on the Drew Barrymore Show, and technically it's my show because I'm running the show.
What are you cheering for?
Thank you, Ziwe. Check out season 2 of her show, Ziwe, on the Showtime app, November 18th, and on cable, November 20th.